Welcome to Fall Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em. So for those of you just joining, we're going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales, ending with Trail Mix, where I will bring you 3 songs, and then Trail Etiquette and Other Shit by Octavia.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you doing today?
Good. I feel good. My body hurts.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I did physical activity.
Oh my gosh. Not physical activity.
Yes, physical activity. I went and played basketball the other day because we got the first really warm day in a while. And it was in the 60s, which was so nice.
Yeah.
So a couple of friends and I from work went and played basketball and then got some food and drinks afterwards. But what I texted you was we're going to go get beer and drink.
Yeah, I was really confused because I'm like, isn't beer a drink? What?
Yes.
Cool.
It is.
Well, I mean,
like basketball.
You haven't played basketball in a long time, so I'm sure that your body's not used to that type of like movement. You know, how like if you do something that you haven't done in a long time and the muscle memory is there, but the muscles are not.
That is correct.
Running, jumping, shooting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the things.
And you were playing horse?
Yes. We were playing horse. For anyone who doesn't know, is where you shoot a basket. And if you make it, then the other person has to shoot from the same spot that you made it in.
Mm-hmm.
If they miss, then they get the letter H and so on until somebody spells horse. You know?
I do know.
Do you get the point?
No, I get it. I'm not, I can dribble a basketball.
Yeah.
I can throw it at stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I can get it in the little hole though.
Yeah. That's what she said. But anyway, you set that one up.
Yeah,
that was a volley. I got it.
I'm more of a solo sportist. I'm not as good at team sports with balls involved. So
again, wow, you're really laying them on thick today.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I competed in horseback riding, hunter jumper stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like me and the horse, and horses don't talk back. They do like stop at jumps and throw you off though. Fun times. Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Good. I am also enjoying the weather. Yeah, and I'm planning on going spring snowboarding on Friday. I'm very excited. There's no school, so I'm going to bring Adriana up to the mountain. It's going to be not as warm as today, but it'll be warmer than it has been for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
What? Spring skiing or spring snowboarding?
Yeah, because where's the snow?
Well, the mountains are still cold enough that the snow isn't melted, but it's warm enough that you don't have to wear like heavy layers. It'll probably be like 50 up there, where it's like 60 down here.
Again, how does the snow stay there?
It's pretty thick, so it's not going to melt all in one day.
But I'm just picturing like, like water.
No.
Are you surfing?
It doesn't melt that fast.
Oh.
Yeah, we're surfing.
Okay.
No, it doesn't melt that fast. It's compacted. Even on like a sunny day, if you had like a couple feet of snow and it was sunny and warm that day, it's not going to all melt in one day. It'll just get a little soft.
Okay, so you're not going to be going down waterfall?
No waterfalls.
Or avalanches?
No avalanches.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you won't be doing that.
No, we
won't. That sounds good.
Yeah.
But that sounds like fun. I do like spring so much, like the beginning signs of spring. It's so nice to be coming out of winter and to feel your seasonal depression just like go away.
Yeah, and we're not even in spring yet. We're still in March.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, March 22nd, I believe, is the first day officially of spring.
Right, but it's not even that day yet. It's still like a week or so away.
But it feels like it. And it's getting darker later.
Yeah.
And
that's nice. So I enjoy that.
So what do we have in store for today?
Well, today we have in store for us some crazy shit. We're we're going to talk about 2 stories.
We're going to
And
talk about them,
we're
or
gonna
we're
talk
going to
about
read
them.
them?
We're gonna read them
Okay.
and then talk about them.
Okay, cool. Is that different from what we normally do?
No. In other news, we're gonna do that now.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Do we have anything else we want to talk about before we get in?
I don't think so.
Oh, funny story. Yesterday, I decided to wear white pants.
Uh-huh.
And guess what happens on the one day I wear white pants?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
worst
God.
thing that can happen, and it's not sitting on a piece of chocolate cake.
Oh, that was actually what I was going to guess. So I guess if it's not sitting on a piece of chocolate cake, it
Yes,
must be
the
that
inevitable.
that you spilled tomato juice on yourself.
No.
Oh, those were my 2 guesses.
Yeah, luckily I avoided disaster. So,
Thank gosh.
but that was a funny moment, and I did tell most people in the office. Not most people. I told some. I told my mom.
So 1. Okay.
I told Del Monte also.
Of course you did.
I might have told Terry too.
God, you're so funny. Something happened to me. I must share.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was bad. I might not use any of that.
Okay. Yep. So story number 1, we're going to get right into this, is called Night Kayak.
Ooh, night kayaking. That's
So,
fun. Is it fun?
Well, okay, so the only time well, that's not true. The first time I went night kayaking, I was a lot younger, and I went with my dad. We were up in the Adirondacks, and you know how there's the Beaver Lake at the camp.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we went kayaking on that, and it was dusk, and it had just turned to dark. And we had our, like, headlamps, and, I thought that was gonna be so fun, like, the moon was out, it was gonna be really fun. No, it was freaking terrifying because beavers, when you approach them, slap their tail in the water really loud.
Yeah.
Like, the entire time, I'm on pins and needles because I'm trying to anticipate when the next splash or slap is going to be.
Yeah.
So then I put my, earbuds in. Earbuds? Is that what they're called?
Sure.
Airbuds?
You didn't have
AirPods?
AirPods then.
No, they were, like, the ones you plug into an iPod.
Oh, yeah. The earbuds.
Earbuds. Headphones.
Headphones.
I put my headphones on.
Yeah.
And was listening to my iPod and, literally, like, shrank myself into the kayak so that I couldn't and, like, covered my ears.
So you weren't
I was freaked
you
out.
weren't driving the kayak.
I was supposed to be helping,
You
but
weren't
I
steering
wasn't.
it.
No, I wasn't doing
Okay,
anything
so
because I
you
was
were passenger.
petrified. Yeah.
Gotcha. It was a big kayak, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 2-person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have that 2-person kayak? Is it under the house?
I don't know.
Huh. I think so. I feel like Adriana was in it
Yeah, but we might have given it away. I don't know.
since then.
I don't know.
That's possible.
Anyway.
I don't think that they would attack you though. They're not like
Oh, no.
they're not like
But it's like Jaws.
bloodthirsty attack beavers. No, it's not like Jaws.
Yeah, it is.
Because sharks will attack you if they think you're a fish that they want to eat.
But it's a
right. Right, but beavers don't typically attack and eat humans.
I'm fully aware, but it's still startling to have something come up alongside your kayak and make a loud noise.
Don't worry, I would be also terrified because I don't like going into ponds or lakes for one reason. Snapping turtles.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like snapping turtles are everywhere, and they're all there just to try and bite my toes.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. It's an irrational fear. I know. It's fine. I don't care. I don't need to swim in a lake or a pond.
I'm scared of bathtubs.
Yeah. That's normal.
It's fine.
That's typical.
Let's get into this.
Yeah. Oh, also leeches. There are leeches
yeah.
in that pond.
There are.
Beavers. There's beavers and leeches. Beavers and leeches.
Yep.
There's the beavers and there's the leeches.
There's the beavers. There's the leeches. Over there's the beavers. Over there's the leeches. Okay. Yeah, and leeches I don't fuck with because you've seen Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hate it. Can't do it.
You remember that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. Gross.
Okay. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, story number 1.
Great. The lake stretched out in all directions, black and glassy under the night sky. It was one of those perfect Pacific Northwest evenings, cool, crisp air, the scent of damp pine and water lilies drifting over the surface. Stars scattered themselves across the sky like spilled salt, and bats flitted in and out of the moonlight, scooping up unseen insects. It was a good night to be alone, a good night to fish, or so I thought. The bass weren't biting, not even a nibble, but I didn't care much. The quiet was enough, the kind of peace that only comes from being out on the water, away from the world. I let my paddle rest across my lap, leaned back in my kayak, and just watched the sky. I took off my life vest, letting my body stretch out more freely. The kayak rocked gently, nothing unusual. I'd stood up in this thing hundreds, no, thousands of times. It was an open-body kayak, more canoe-like than the sleek, enclosed kind, but I knew it well. I knew my balance, I had strong core stability, I wasn't worried. But then, for some reason, I decided to stand. Maybe I was restless, maybe I wanted to get a little more distance on my cast, maybe I was just overconfident. Either way, the second I rose to my feet, the world shifted. 1 second, I was above the water, the next, I was in it. It wasn't a slow tip or a wobble. I went straight down, like a stone. My kayak took in a surge of water, immediately becoming dead weight, barely floating. My body hit the cold lake like a slap. It was the kind of cold that stole breath before I even had a chance to take one. Then suddenly, bam, a pop next to me. My life vest, which I hadn't been wearing, auto-inflated as soon as it hit the water. It bobbed just a few feet away, just out of reach. I kicked toward it, my muscles already stiffening from the cold. When I finally wrapped my arms around it, I bear hugged that thing like it was my last tether to life. Because, in a way, it was. The shore wasn't far, 75 feet maybe, but between me and safety was a thick, impenetrable mass of lily pads. I tried to swim through them. My arms got tangled, my feet kept catching. Every time I pushed forward, the pads popped free and slipped away like greased rope, giving me nothing to hold on to. My kayak was useless, my strength was draining fast, and for the first time that night, real fear set in. I had no choice. I pulled my phone out of its waterproof case, hands shaking, and called 911. No signal. I swore. I kicked at the water, tried again. Nothing. I tried to keep calm, to conserve energy, but the weight of my soaked clothes and the shock of the cold were creeping deeper into my bones. My breathing was getting shallower. My hands barely worked. Then finally, my phone locked into a satellite. 1 bar. I didn't waste time. The operator's voice was clear, but my own words slurred more than I expected. I told them where I was, my location as best as I could guess, and they said help was on the way. But I was too far out. The ambulance and the cop wouldn't be enough. They had to call in a tactical water rescue team. By the time the firefighters reached me, I'd been in the water for nearly an hour. The cold had gone from biting to numbing. I was moving in slow motion, my body shutting down without my permission. They hauled me out, and I didn't fight it. I couldn't. When they dragged me onto the shore, I collapsed onto my hands and knees, barely aware of the flashing lights, the voices, the people around me. One of the firefighters clapped me on the back and said, "Congratulations, you're our first successful rescue this week." That hit me harder than the cold. Then the cop stepped up, eyes scanning me from head to toe like he was looking at a ghost. He shook his head. "I've done this job 15 years, and I've never seen someone in your condition survive that." I didn't have a response, just shivering, just the realization that I had been on the edge of something I wasn't ready to face. That night changed me. It wasn't just about falling in the water. It wasn't just about almost not making it out. It was about the fact that I could have prevented all of it if I'd just kept my damn life vest on. Since that night, I've lost weight, gotten healthier, made a lot of promises to a lot of people, and I don't break them. If I'm in a kayak, my life vest stays on. Always. Damn.
Damn.
That was actually pretty that we've read a lot of stories and like there's all the potential for it to either the potential or it already has gone wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was really close to being a not able to tell the story type situation.
Bad situation, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the fact that he didn't have his life vest on was problematic. luckily it was close enough that he was able to reach it.
I don't always wear my life vest when I'm kayaking, though, to
I
be fair.
don't either.
In fact, I hardly ever do.
No, when we're up
Or
at
bring
camp,
one, for that matter. I don't even bring one. He had one in the boat.
Yeah. No, we never wear. No, we never wear life vests when we go up to camp and kayak. It just doesn't feel necessary.
Yeah.
But we're usually going together. We both know how to swim.
We're familiar with where we are.
Yeah.
It's daytime.
It's probably we should though, just in case. Also, how deep is that pond?
At its deepest, I would say maybe 10 feet.
Oh, it's pretty deep then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I don't know the underscape of.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest.
Because there's some parts that the ground
really shallow,
raises up.
Yeah.
Where you can, but like with a pond like that, I would think it's dangerous to fall in it most places because you don't know what's under the surface.
Right.
With that pond, it's like there's logs, there's trees sticking up probably underneath. Also the leeches.
Yeah.
I don't know who knows what's under there. It's creepy as hell. Oh, I would not want to fall in that pond. No thanks. And no thank you.
I went swimming in it one time.
I know. You're crazy. You're nuts. Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
Was it your dad's idea? Did you both go in?
Yeah.
Gross. Was it like a really hot day and you like couldn't, like there was like, you had no choice? Because otherwise you were gonna die of heat exhaustion? There's no AC out there.
It was pretty hot that day, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad this person made it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he had to take his phone out of the waterproof case. I'm glad he had his phone in his waterproof case and was able and like must have been on his body.
Yeah.
If he didn't think to put his phone in a waterproof case and keep it on his body, that could have fallen off, like could have fallen over into the water when the boat tipped. He must be thinking like, why did I stand up? I mean, for me, if I was in this situation, I think my lesson from all this would have been don't stand up in a kayak.
Yeah.
I could barely get from the dock to into the kayak without falling in. I fell in once.
We know.
It was like a foot of water. I was trying to get in or out. I think I was trying to get out.
Out, yes.
And I couldn't. I had a hard time getting out. I just don't have those stability intuitions for kayaking. I don't go that often.
Yeah, I mean, I've done kayaking a bunch and grown up around them. They're still unstable, but just by nature. I've almost fallen in. I'm pretty sure I probably have fallen in. But
yeah, I mean,
things happen.
Yeah, so
that happened tonight when so my dad and I used to always go on the Wappingers Creek kayaking down it, and it's a moving river, so it's a little different than kayaking on a pond or whatever. So we decided to bring one of my friends at the time, Kendra, and she was not an experienced kayaker. She had never been before, but my dad and Kendra went in the two-person kayak, and I went by myself.
Okay.
And it ended up tipping for some reason. So they both ended up in the river.
Oh no.
And Kendra was like, had a life vest on, but was like getting dragged downstream.
Oh no.
And was under the kayak. So like was getting dragged with the kayak down the river.
No.
And then there was this large tree that had fallen into the river, and my dad had already been able to get off onto the shore and was like heading down shore to try to like
save her life.
Yeah, find Kendra.
Oh, Jesus.
But the kayak had ended up getting tangled up in the tree branches that were in the river. But she was getting dragged underneath the current. So like she couldn't breathe. So she's like, we could hear her yelling for help. And so my dad like jumped in and had to do like a rescue.
Oh my God. And then you guys never hung out again. Just like, that's just too crazy. You guys are nuts.
Yeah.
I almost died. Goodbye.
Accurate.
Lost many a friendship that way. Almost death by kayak.
Yeah, for sure.
How deep was the water though? Because whenever I picture a river like that, I always picture the Esopus up in by Phoenicia, and the Esopus is not that deep.
Yeah, I'd say maybe
Like a foot.
oh no, way deeper than that. Where we were, at least.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, when they
3
go
feet, 4 feet.
from Phoenicia to downstream, they do that tubing thing. Um, I don't know how deep it is, but it doesn't look that deep from the road. I've never done the tubing though. But I do have a memory of that river. I was, I don't know, 1.5 maybe. And we used to live right, in a house that was right on the river. And my mom used to bring me, or my dad used to bring me down and let me put my feet in the water.
Cute.
Yeah. And it was not deep when I was 1.5. There's also probably parts of it that are deeper, obviously. And like closer to the banks are probably more shallow.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yeah. Also, that river's real wide. Yeah, so he was really lucky, this guy, that he had his phone.
Yeah.
And that the rescue team didn't take longer to get to him. If I feel like if they were longer than that hour, I don't know if he would have made it. He sounded like he was like right on the cusp of hypothermia, like
Yeah,
full on.
and they seem surprised that he didn't have it.
Yeah.
They were like, we're shocked.
I wonder what the circumstances were that allowed for that not to happen. Like maybe it was just warm enough.
Maybe. Well, it sounds like he sounds like he was a little bit overweight
Oh yeah, maybe.
before, so maybe some of that body fat kept him alive.
That's possible. Yeah, I'm not familiar with human anatomy as far as being able to stay warm and with body fat, but makes sense.
Could be.
Could be. Well, I'm glad that he made it out.
Me also.
Yeah. That's night hike. I won't be night kayaking anytime soon.
Damn it.
For 2 reasons.
No, we're gonna go night kayaking this summer for sure up at the camp. Yes, we are. On a full moonlit night, that's gonna be so pretty. You have no idea what you'd be missing.
I know what I'd be missing.
It's happening, Dave.
I know what I would be missing. Beaver tail smacks.
Great. I'm facing
And
my
leeches.
fear. So you can too.
I don't fear it.
So then why aren't we going?
I just don't need to experience it. You know?
Fine, then I'll take Karina and Seb.
Okay, go ahead. You don't have enough kayaks.
I'll have them buy ones and then bring it.
Buy ones?
Buy ones brings it.
Buys ones, gets ones free.
Yes.
Oh, well, you do have the canoe, don't you? Is that under the house?
I don't know. What's under
There
the
are
house?
stuff under the house.
There are stuff?
There's lots of stuffs.
There is stuff? There are stuff?
There is things under there.
There are things?
Yeah.
Rodents?
Probably. Yeah.
There's probably some raccoons under there.
Some good mice, yeah.
Good mice?
For sure. Yeah.
They're not bad mice. They're good mice.
Yeah.
Heard.
Only good mice.
Yeah, only good mice.
Heard.
Heard.
All right, are you ready for story number 2?
Yes, what's it called?
Frozen staircase.
Let's go. Let's go.
All
go
right.
off. Go off with your bad self. Get it. Sorry.
Yes, I will. Are you ready for story number 2?
Yes.
Okay. Frozen staircase. The staircase next to Catskill Falls, treacherous in winter. Less a set of stairs and more an ice-choked slide down the mountain. The 3 of us were prepared, at least in theory. Microspikes bit into the frozen surface with each cautious step, but it was clear within minutes the crampons and an ice axe would have been the better choice. 2 of us managed well enough, each movement deliberate, each footfall placed with intent, but our friend was struggling. His footing was tentative, his balance shaky. As I turned back to assist him, I saw his foot slip. His body twisted awkwardly, his hand scrambled for purchase against the unyielding ice. Then he was sliding, fast, panic in his eyes. Instinct took over. I braced myself, planted as firm as I could, and intercepted his uncontrolled descent. The impact rattled through my body, but I stopped him. The problem was, in the process, one of my microspikes wrenched loose. As I bent to fix it, fate played its cruel hand. My own balance faltered, and suddenly, I was the one sliding. 100 feet, a blur of ice, wind, and speed. I twisted, trying to dig in my boots, but the ice was unrelenting. Self-arrest wasn't optional. It was necessary. Somehow, finally, my hands found my axe. I drove it into the frozen slope. Momentum fought against me, but I held on. The shock of impact reverberated through my arms. My body jerked to a stop, wedged against the tree. Heart pounding, I took a shaky breath and then reached into my bag for my crampons.
So, if you were in this story and it had been on Monday, you would have been reaching into your bag for tampons, but they're reaching into their bag for crampons.
Oh my God, they're so ridiculous.
I know.
But yes.
Good one.
White pants could not handle without the tampons. And this guy
or crampons
can't survive without the crampons. Yeah.
Okay.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah. That's good.
I hope he figures out what to do next. This sounds scary. After securing them properly, I clawed my way back up to my friends. No real injuries, just rattled nerves and the sacrifice of a few hiking poles to the abyss. We counted our luck, gathered ourselves, and hiked out in one piece. Oof. Thank God they didn't get more hurt, but there's more to the story, so let's see what happens next.
Let's.
A week later, I returned, alone. This time, I was prepared. Full mountaineering gear.
What?
Mountaineering gear. Full mountaineering gear. Crampons biting deep, ice axe in hand. I had unfinished business. The poles, perhaps, but more than that. Something about the place lingered in my mind. A confrontation with the winter's raw and unrelenting nature. Approaching from below, I scanned the ice for any sign of my lost gear. That's when I saw her. She was crumpled against the slope, ice around her. Her face was pale, her movements sluggish. A young woman, clearly concussed, clearly in pain. Her microspikes had done little to stop her catastrophic descent. Trees lined the slope, and it was evident that she had collided with more than one. Oh my God. That's so scary. Halfway up the staircase, her hiking partner was frozen. Whether in fear or indecision, it was hard to tell. But he managed to call for help. The gears of rescue were already in motion. Still, she needed immediate care. I moved quickly, assessing things as best I could. An emergency bivvy provided warmth against the biting cold, and I did what I could in the realm of first aid. More than anything, I stayed. I reassured her. I made sure she wasn't alone. Soon, SARS arrived. Their movements were sure and practiced, their presence a stabilizing force. They thanked me for my help, but made it clear that they had it under control now. My job was done. As I descended, I took one last look up the icy staircase, a beautiful, deadly thing. I had come back from my hiking poles. Instead, I left with a different kind of story.
That's so scary. Like, I can't even imagine just going about your day and then coming upon a scene like that. Like,
oh, yeah, no.
Like, that's so terrifying. Like, that's a big fear of mine when we started watching and listening to all, like, true crime podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of, like, true crime documentaries. That was my worst fear, was that I was going to go out into the woods one day and come across a dead body.
Oh, yeah, that's a fear, for sure.
And, like, that's so scary.
It's scary, yeah.
To be the first one on scene for either, well, I mean, this is even scarier, like,
the person's alive
and needs
help.
Assistance.
Yeah.
But, like, the dead body, like, obviously you can't provide any other assistance, but you have to call it in, and, like, that's traumatizing. But I mean, it's obviously worse for the person.
Okay, I don't really want to find a dead body in the woods. Okay, but I think that if that happened, I would know what to do, which is
Call 911.
Don't contaminate the crime scene and call 911.
Great.
Yeah. And make sure that, they know where to find the body. Oh, that'd be so scary though. Yeah. That'd be so scary. Hey, but this guy was just going back to find his poles, and he just happened to be there at a time when, somebody needed support.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was just like, moderate first aid and emotional support.
Oh my God, that's so annoying that the first thing when you said moderate, what's one of the first things that you think of when you hear that?
Temperance?
No.
What?
What?
That's what it means.
No. Moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
Why would anybody think that, you weirdo?
Because it's a commercial that I've seen a million times.
Okay, but I don't like pay attention to commercials like that. Because I
You're moderate to
usually
severe plaque psoriasis.
Oh my God, you need to stop watching TV commercials.
So annoying.
I stopped watching commercials as soon as Netflix became a thing and you could order DVDs online.
Yes, but now we have the free version of like HBO and Peacock, or I don't know.
Oh, that's
There's
true.
2 services that we have that are free versions,
That's true.
and they have ads in them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, but you can not watch those platforms. What?
I cannot not watch my HBO because X is on there.
You could
So I
also
don't have any. What?
you could pay more to have no commercials.
I don't want to pay more.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't wanna the guy was there for a reason, right? The hiker was there looking for their poles. I feel like sometimes things happen in your life where get a feeling like you wanna go do something that moment, and you go do it, and you just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I also feel that way about things that stop you from going places
Yeah, that you should listen.
that you should like, sometimes been I'll come up on, like, an accident
Mm-hmm.
that if I hadn't forgotten something and I had to turn around at the driveway, I would have been in that exact spot probably at that
Oh, yeah,
moment,
me too.
So I don't know. It's not like everything happens for a reason. People say that sometimes, but I don't think that that is necessarily 100% accurate, but I think that some things do happen in a way that you should listen to. There's are things. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Well, we're in the Matrix, so I feel like any of that is just, our player, because we're like Sims characters, right?
Mhm.
So like, that's just the intuition of like maybe I should do this or maybe I shouldn't do this.
Oh, it's
Is
just a
just that
player playing her button.
almost pressing one of them, but then deciding to do the other.
You're insane.
Cool.
That's just the craziest theory I've ever heard in my life.
I'm only partially kidding. I'm sorry, but I don't even want to hear you talking about crazy theories because you didn't believe that UFOs were a thing. Remember when I was obsessed with UFOs? You're like, that's not real.
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
No, you weren't. You were so serious.
Of
We ha-
course, there are things called UFOs. Do you know what UFO stands for?
Unidentified flying object. Yes.
Right. That doesn't mean it's alien. It's just a thing that's flying and you don't know what it is.
No, there's no, Tave. It's not accurate. The government has said that they're a real thing. There's a whole there's money being poured into research of UFOs.
Right.
So Roswell, New Mexico, like they're a thing. And yes, they don't have to be aliens and like green-bodied people, but there are other life forms out there that are aliens.
Oh, okay.
That's like 100% like we're not the only life form out there.
Oh, no, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. Yeah. But there's no way. There's gotta be other planets out there
We're not that special.
that are life forming.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I agree with you.
Okay, anyway.
I agree.
If you don't have any other thoughts on the tales, because those were both great,
Oh, yeah.
I
Go
think we
ahead.
should
Let's get into trail mix.
Yeah.
Trail mix!
Trail mix. All right, welcome to Trail
Trail
Mix. where we take 3 songs, lace them up, and hit the path.
Ooh, lace up your boots.
Yeah, like lace them up, like cue them up, like cue up the songs, lace them up.
Lace them up, lace them up.
It's all about love on the trail. Love. So, love and adventure have a lot in common. Did you know that, Tave?
Yeah. Love is an adventure.
Love is an adventure. They both push you. They both test you. They both reward you, you know?
Yeah.
This week's trail mix is about love in motion. So songs that capture the fire, the freedom, and the inevitable recklessness of falling for someone and running full speed into the unknown. So let's see where the trail and the heart takes us.
Yay.
First on the list is one of my favorites ever, Start a Riot. It's Thundertrack's remix by Banners. The original by Banners is really, really good. It's a lot slower than this remix, but the remix just like blows it out of the park, you know?
Yeah.
So Love at its best is messy, loud, and impossible to ignore, just like Start a Riot. Banner's voice always sounds like it's carrying something urgent, and in this remix, the pulse of the beat matches the rush of chasing someone who makes you feel alive. This is the soundtrack for the moment you decide to go all in. No second guessing, no waiting for the right time, just running full speed toward whatever or whoever is pulling you forward. Maybe it's a love that defies logic. Maybe it's the kind of connection that scares you a little. But that's the best kind, right? The one that makes you throw caution to the wind and climb higher than you ever thought possible. Because when love is real, sometimes you don't fall. You leap.
Oh, how corny.
Yeah, but cute.
Gross.
You're disgusting.
It's so gross.
I know. Next on the list is Rich Love by One Republic and Seeb. Rich love is for the kind of love that doesn't need much. Just 2 people, an open road, and maybe a backpack with the essentials. It's a song for the kind of relationship that isn't about having everything, but about having the right person beside you. The beat rolls forward like an easy stretch of trail, and the lyrics hit on something simple but powerful. Real love isn't about what you can buy, it's about the moments you build together. The kind of love that makes even a long, dusty trail feel like home. This is your sunset hike song, the one for holding hands in the golden light, laughing over nothing, and realizing that where you are doesn't matter as long as they're with you. Next is More Than You Know by Axwell Ingrosso. There's a moment in every great adventure and every great love when you stop thinking and just go with it. More Than You Know is that moment. It's fast, pulsing, and a little dangerous, just like falling for someone when you know it's already too late to turn back. The way the song builds mirrors the push and pull of love. It starts off slow, smooth, maybe even cautious, but then the beat kicks in, the chorus explodes, and suddenly you're all in, no breaks, no hesitation. This is the song for the kind of love, the one that hits like lightning, takes over everything, and makes the whole world disappear. If love is a trail, this song is the downhill sprint, the kind where you can't stop, even if you wanted to, because nothing has ever felt this right.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So I think, like, to wrap it all up,
Yeah.
wherever your trail leads, whoever's hiking beside you, these are the songs that are the soundtrack to the love story you're writing along the way.
Aw, how cute and gross.
Okay.
Love it.
Let's get into some practicality. Trail etiquette!
Practicality.
And other shit.
Yes, that's what we love. Practicality. It's our favorite thing. Are you ready for some trail etiquette and other shit?
I am.
Well, this
What do you
week,
got in store for us?
Yeah, this week we're going to talk about kayaking safety essentials. Don't tempt fate.
I
Just
love tempting fate.
Don't tempt fate, Em. I know you love tempting fate. Just don't do it.
Frick. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
Stop it. Stop tempting fate, Em.
Let's go.
Hitting the water without basic precautions is like hiking without the 10 essentials. Why risk it? We've talked about the 10 essentials before, and we'll probably talk about it again because I think it's important to reiterate.
Sure is.
Yeah. Follow these key safety guidelines to ensure smooth paddling and many happy returns. Step 1, plan a trip within your capabilities. So for me, my capabilities are calm, flat water with minimal boat traffic. Not kayaking at night with beavers. Thank you. And leeches. No, thank you.
No.
All paddlers should be competent for the planned distance. 2, essential safety gear. Personal flotation device, which we've talked about, we don't use and need to start using. Must be worn at all times. Bring a whistle. 1 blast for attention, 3 for help. Communication device, a waterproof phone or VHF radio. The guy in our first story did have a phone and it was in a waterproof case, so he did the right thing there. A bilge pump or a paddle float for bailing water and self-rescue. Spare paddles and tow line in case of loss or injury. A headlamp, essential if you're delayed after dark. I don't know if I would bring an extra paddle because I don't know where I'd put it.
In the kayak.
But the kayak's small. Your body's there.
Yeah, but there's a space behind you.
I guess.
Or in front of you.
You think all this stuff will fit in your kayak?
Yeah.
Okay. Essential number 3. Dress for immersion. If water temperature is below 70 degrees, wear a wetsuit or a dry suit to prevent hypothermia. 4, don't go solo. Even experienced kayakers reduce risk by bringing a buddy. Keep the group close. Stay within earshot or whistle range. Always bring your buddy. Buddy system. How many times do people go out in the wilderness solo? And I get it. Because of the experience, you like to be on your own. If you don't want to bring a buddy, that's understandable. But you have to at least let people know where you are.
Right.
And you have to have a system in place for if you get lost. Number 5, rescue local weather and hazards. Check forecasts and stay alert for changing conditions. Learn about local currents, winds, and underwater hazards. Avoid collision. If a boat's position remains constant relative to yours, you're on a collision course. Change direction. 6, create and share a float plan. Include who, names and contact info of your group, where, put in and take out locations and planned route, when, launch return times and an emergency deadline, what, instructions on what to do if you're overdue. Leave the plan with someone who will notice your absence first. Also stash copies in your car and kayak in case of separation. Stay smart, stay safe, and happy paddling. I also think that the float plan could really go for any outdoor activity. I think that should be a plan, a whenever plan. Mm-hmm. Also, it can relate to a lot of places, like a lot of situations. Like if you're going out with a group of people at night in the city.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, that's what I have for you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Do you have any final thoughts on the stories?
No, I thought they were both great. I thought they were... I don't want to go kayaking at night for a while.
You said you wanted to go kayaking. You said you were going to make me go this summer.
Yeah, not with you. I'll go by myself.
That's worse.
That's fine. I'll tell you where I'm going.
That's literally what he did. I am not calling a SARS team to get you in the middle of the beaver pond because there's no way I can go and find you in the dark.
Yeah, no, you just wouldn't call the SARS team because you would just hope that I drown with the beavers.
Oh my God. Just swimming with the fishes, swimming with the beavers.
Yeah, you would hope that they get me.
No, I would not.
It's fine.
Well, I also like the second story.
Yeah.
I also like the second
It's
story.
also close to home.
Yeah, Catskill's not too far from where we are now. So I don't want to go there in the winter, though. Didn't we take Orion there one winter? But we stayed on like a flat path. We didn't go to the falls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we stayed on like the rail trail part of it.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be going there in the winter. I would like to go there this summer, though. I think that would be nice to see the actual falls, not the scary ice falls. That sounds scary. I don't care what kind of things are on my feet. I'm not an adventurer like that. And like all the power to you for people who want to adventure into the ice landscape with their little spikes and crampons and ice picks and all that stuff, like, have fun. Love it for you. No, I'm not into it. It just seems too scary. I don't even like walking on ice outside.
Ice is too unpredictable.
It's scary. Adriana's a little obsessed with ice, though. Anytime there's ice on the ground, she wants to go, shoe skating. Although she tried to do I mean, she's good at ice skating, but she tried to do hockey last year, and she was not about that at all. She did not like it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to like everything.
No. She likes soccer. Stick with that. Well, as always, you'll find links in our show notes. And please follow us on Patreon. We have a lot of good stuff up there.
And check out our merch store because we've got pants, shoes, bags, hats, bottles, stickers.
Yeah.
All the above.
All the above. Love it. I'm going to come out with some new stuff this spring. So keep an eye out for our new merch, our new slogans, our new whatever I come up with.
That's it from us crazy people here at Falls Summit.
For every mountain is just one more almost there.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. Rate, review, and subscribe.
Yeah, do all
not
three.
Or.
Yeah.
And if you didn't enjoy it, well, maybe that's your epic fail of the week.
Haha.
Teehee.
Teehee.
But if you've got, but no.
But in all seriousness.
Okay. But in all seriousness, if you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or Falls Summit on Instagram. Check us out on our YouTube page. We have things up there for you to stream. And we'll be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails.
And don't fall off a cliff.
See you out there.